Hey folks, this is Joey from Riftweaver, and I'm here with this week's update for Fablecraft. If you're brand new to Fablecraft, because we just launched last week, these video updates are done every week here on YouTube, and they're shared on our Steam blog and also in our Discord. They're our way of kind of giving you the news related to Fablecraft, telling you what's kind of happening in the past week, and maybe sharing some insights about Riftweaver, announcing company events, announcing broader events. So this is your weekly one-stop shop. If you prefer reading, you can get a lot of this information in the blog, which I'll link in the description below, but this is the video form, and there's some extra stuff in the video too. I want to talk to you about a lot of stuff today. I have some news to share, and then I have some details regarding your feedback and kind of what the future of Fablecraft looks like over the course of early access. We'll start with the news. We are announcing a partnership with StartPlaying.games. If you don't know what StartPlaying is basically a place where players can find sessions and all sorts of tabletop systems run by professional GMs. The GMs will open up a page that essentially offers up a bunch of different sessions for the different games that they're running, and players grab a seat. It's a premium service, so these seats actually cost money, but you get a professional GM to do it, and it's a really nice way to connect to new parties and experience tabletop. We worked with StartPlaying to get a Fablecraft special running, so right now, if you were to go on to StartPlaying through this link that's in the description and on the screen, bit.ly/StartPlayingFablecraft, you will find a bunch of games being run by GMs for Fablecraft in the near future. And if you've not used StartPlaying before, we also have a $10 credit that the StartPlaying folks gave us, and that's going to be at bit.ly/Fablecraft10. Both links should be on the screen and in the description, so make sure to grab them and check out StartPlaying and try Fablecraft with Pro GM. Should be pretty cool. I'm thinking about doing a campaign myself. Not as a GM, as a player. I want to see what these GMs are up to. With that, let's get into your feedback. I actually have a list here, so you're going to see me maybe looking off screen as I run through some of this stuff. But we have maybe 7 or 8 points of feedback that showed up a lot over the course of the week. This doesn't count the bug fix stuff that we used when we put together the hot fix. We got lots of feedback about bugs, and you probably saw us on Steam or in the Discord jumping in to help players with support. And those players maybe had some user error that they were going through, or it could have been an actual bug. A lot of folks actually helped us trace down a bug related to a screen flashing problem. Other folks found a bug related to kicking other players. Those have been fixed, and they were fixed in the hot fix that we deployed last week. This stuff that I'm going to talk to you about today, this is mostly in the feature request category, so this is longer term stuff, and I wanted to share where we are with these things and if they're planned. The spoiler alert here is that all of these things are planned, so it seems like the good news is you folks, our players, are on the same page as our dev team. You want the same things we do, largely. So let's get into it. Like I said, there's a list. Sorry, I'm looking over at it, but here we go. Unanimously, GMs wanted the same thing. All GMs pretty much wanted more options for homebrew. And in particular, we heard a lot of GMs requesting 2 things. NPCs, so either the actual characters in story or monsters. They want to be able to homebrew that. And they also want to be able to homebrew battle maps. The good news is both things are on our roadmap. We want to do both things. We plan on doing both things. We plan on making Fablecraft top to bottom fully homebrew. But NPCs and battle maps are on our roadmap. Battle maps are up next. They're actually in dev. We've shared some previews, and I think I'll throw something up on screen right now. This is what our concept work for battle map creation looks like, and we're going to make it so that you can upload battle maps built on other platforms too. But that one's coming soon-ish. We have it slated on our roadmap for Q3. And then the NPCs and monsters, that's a lot of work. We're still doing it, of course. It's just not as close as battle maps are. We'll share more information on this process as we get close, and of course that'll be in this weekly devlog when we get to it. But that's coming, so don't worry. We want NPC monsters and characters as well. GMs also want to homebrew the Game Master Guide. We get this one, and this is one that we want too, and that's the tool that's going to be able to make it so that GMs can write the full Game Master Guide for all their sessions across an adventure. Maybe it's a one-shot, maybe it's a 5-session adventure, who knows. They want to be able to write that thing themselves, and then presumably share it as well with others, and this is probably going to be the largest task for us, and I would imagine that the Homebrew GMG will be one of the last homebrew pieces that we get in place. We want to build everything else up around it so that you can homebrew everything, and then that GMG will be the last tool that you need to kind of put it all together. The long-term goal for us, if you haven't seen this said anywhere else, we've said it a few times across Discord and Steam, but a lot of folks are totally new, and maybe they don't know. The long-term goal for us is to stand up a marketplace for users, our creators in-game, to be able to sell their homebrewed stuff to other players. And that includes full Game Master guides. It includes, assets for story scenes, music, soundscapes, monsters, whatever. We want folks to be able to sell that to each other and get paid for creating the cool stuff that they create. So the goal really is for Fablecraft to be an end-to-end homebrew tool. You're just joining, on the first full week of early access, so we're still fresh. We're coming along, right? We just left our closed beta, and we're here. So thank you, and more is coming from Homebrew. Players also want more of the pre-made content, so Fablecraft launched with 3 adventures available. The Road to the Starfall Festival is free, but we also are selling the Murder on the Tipsy Pearl and the House in the Manor adventures. These 2 are our newest ones, but we have more in the pipeline. We also have assets. There's a Brawler pack coming up and a Storyteller pack coming up, and those are coming very soon. We have a secret one-shot that's coming up as well. It's secret because there's something cool about it. And then, of course, we have Once Upon a Wildwood, probably later this year, and then High Society are the ones that we've announced. We're going to be building these adventures and asset packs throughout the course of early access and hopefully beyond. We know that players like the pre-made content, and we work with killer artists to get some of this stuff done, so some of the artwork is unreal, and we'll be making more of these. It's kind of a central tenet to Fablecraft. We want to be able to sell pre-made adventures alongside the user-generated stuff that we have available. So more is coming, just give us time. It takes a lot of time to develop these. We work with real humans, and real humans require time to make stuff, so go figure. Players have also kind of said that the Fable Dice aren't feeling quite as good or rewarding as they want them to be. We understand that, and we've thought the same. We pushed our roadmap public before launch, and if you were with us then you know that the Fable Dice enhancements block has been on the roadmap for a while now. We have a strike team. I'm calling it a strike team. No, literally no one else on the team calls it a strike team. It is just me calling it a strike team. We have a Fable Dice strike team that we've deployed on the Fable Dice system itself, and they're working through the enhancements now. It's slated for late Q3, Q4 to be deployed, but we'll give you some information about it as it comes. We're not looking to totally overhaul the dice system. We like the D6 approach, but we think that we can be doing more with it, and that's what this update's going to be about. So yes, we hear you. Changes to the Fable Dice are coming. And go figure, people also want to find other people to play with. We have a couple things to talk about here, at least in this video. If you're not on the Discord yet, that's a great place to start. It's the easiest place to start. We have a party finder channel, and we also have some party chat, voice chat things in there too, if you don't want to use the in-game system. That's a good way to find a party. And at the top of this video, obviously, we shared the Start Playing news. It's another good way to find a party. But eventually, we do want to get matchmaking in the game, but it presents with it a lot of challenges, and we need to tackle those in order to get matchmaking in. This is going to be later in early access when matchmaking comes. We want it to. We think it's going to be a really good service for people that need to find parties, but we have to kind of figure out the best way to implement it for Fablecraft and for tabletop. This isn't Call of Duty, this isn't Rocket League. It doesn't operate in the same way. Games don't run to the same amount of time. So matchmaking needs to be a little bit different, and we're working on that now. We have some great ideas. We think we have a system that could work. We just need to get there. So bear with us and use the tools that we've got set up on Discord in the meantime to kind of find your parties if you don't already have them. We've also heard folks ask more about single player content, and specifically they're talking about the combat arena mode. That combat arena is that little trial run that you get that's kind of tied into some narrative elements. People want more of that, and we do too, actually. You can consider that combat arena that's in the game now, that's like a first draft of the combat arena mode. We want to expand it over time. We're going to be adding more features to it, and as assets come in and new characters come in, we want to bring them into the combat arena too. So that feature will grow. It's not as high priority as the multiplayer stuff and the homebrew stuff, because we do feel that that's like the tabletop bread and butter, right? But the combat arena is important to us, and we like the single player break it provides, and we're going to grow it too. So just stay tuned. And that's it for the key points of feedback. We gathered this stuff from Discord, from the Steam forums, from our feedback website, and also from the Steam reviews. If you haven't left a Steam review yet, please do. It actually helps us a lot, and we appreciate it. We appreciate the feedback that comes from those. And you'll probably see me respond to a bunch of them too, especially as we update things and make changes that kind of impact what people are feeling the game needs or the changes that the game requires in order to be that much better. Thank you for being here. We entered early access for a key reason. We wanted to make this tabletop RPG in line with a community, and we wanted to kind of develop together, our vision and the community's feedback in order to make Fablecraft something special. So early access was the best path for us to do that, and we're glad you're here. We're glad you're providing the feedback that you're providing. Keep it up, and please say hi in the Discord. I'm Joey, and I'll see you next week.